Hello Internet, it is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Superhero. So as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So let's get to it. Pros. This is Dragon Ball. Arguably one of the most well-known animes of all time. I mean, it's spawned into a massive franchise that consists of shows, movies, and games, all sorts of things. I mean, Dragon Ball is known. Like, if you don't know what Dragon Ball is, do you even exist? Especially in the online realm. I mean, with, it's over 9,000, and, Yamcha being an absolute chump, and, Dragon Ball Z abridged from Team 4 Star, and all, like, just a whole bunch of stuff. It's a lot. So naturally, this would have a very much a pre-established fan base that we're gonna watch this movie opening weekend, opening night. So yeah, so obviously Dragon Ball, the brand name is very strong, and all those fans are gonna show up opening night, as you can already see. So I'll consider that to be an easy pro. Brand name recognition. Dragon Ball is instantly recognizable. Even if you barely know of anime, you know what Dragon Ball is. Alright. So that's a pro. Another pro, this is an anime movie, and as you probably noticed, the last few years, they've been doing pretty darn well at the box office. So I'm about to show you, give you some good examples. So last year, we had Demon Slayer. If I can find it. I'm trying to find, darn it, I'll find it. I just gotta look up Mortal Kombat, which came out the same day as Demon Slayer, so it'll be easy to find there. There it is. Demon Slayer, the movie, Mugen Train. Right? This came out last year, at a time where things were not super great at the box office. I mean, you had Godzilla vs. Kong, which was like the first real movie to make some bank. But besides that, things were still bleak. But this changed that a little bit. It opened with over $22 million in like not even 2,000 theaters, which is absolutely incredible. Sure, it tanked quite hard after that, but it didn't matter because it made so much money in Japan. I think it's still the biggest movie in Japan, that the US box office was literally gravy. And it still did super well here. So yeah, that's one example of anime doing well. Another example happened earlier this year in March with the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie. Came out the third weekend as the Batman. Yes. Alright, here we go. Alright. Sure, it didn't beat the Batman, but it still did pretty good. $18 million, which is a very, very solid number, to say the least. Sure, again, like Demon Slayer, it fell off like a cliff, but again, doesn't matter. Simply doesn't matter. Gravy. It's just the cherry on top. And then obviously, there's Dragon Ball Super Brawly, which came out over 3 years ago. Obviously it was released in Japan first, and then it had a US dub in January of 2019. Back before things went sideways. So Dragon Ball Super Brawly, right? So this came out in January. Usually January is a dump month. Not much happens. Sometimes big things can happen, but for the most part, things are pretty quiet. And with Dragon Ball Super Brawly, it opened like on a Wednesday in January. So you think, oh, this is not gonna make any cash. Well, you're wrong. It opened with 7 million that Wednesday. Like for a Wednesday in January, not even associated with a holiday, that's fantastic. That's low key stunning. It ended up making 20 million in over the 5 days. I guess it's extended 5 day weekend. And sure, after that, it just fell off a cliff. Again, anime movies have a nasty habit of just doing really well in their openings and then just dying immediately afterwards. But still, made $30 million, which for anime standards is nothing to sneeze at. Because anime, even though it's more popular now than ever, really, it's still relatively niche in the grand scheme of things. Especially, I guess, when it comes to, like, the mainstream, super mainstream audiences. And I guess it's mainly because anime kind of has this reputation of being a little too weird and just, I don't know. I guess all those anime memes, and I guess the people who like anime a little too much, all the weeaboos out there may have scared people into watching more anime. But yes, Dragon Ball Super Brawly, $30 million. You want to know how good this is? This is 3 times higher than that live action abomination known as Dragon Ball Evolution ever made. That didn't even make past 10 million. And this made it past that in like how many days? 2 days? 2 days. So, yeah. Yeah. Obviously, that's a good thing. And now here we are with the next Dragon Ball movie, or at least the next theatrical Dragon Ball movie. So, really, this is kind of 2 pros in 1. Anime movies have done really well over the past few years, and Dragon Ball Super Brawly did extremely well. So that's a 2-for-1 pro. So those are pros. Another pro is competition is just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I mean, like I said in my Beast prediction video, everything that's out right now is either, well, Beast is like the other new movie that's out. All the other movies have either done really low numbers or they're extremely old by weeks or even months. So, yeah, and then competition after this is equally as pathetic. Like, there's no movie coming out in, like, the next few months. At least, there won't be a real strong box office player until mid-October, when, like, at least Halloween Ends comes out. Until that comes out, things are going to be very sad, which is good for Dragon Ball superheroes, chances at longevity, which I still doubt it will have, but who knows? But yeah, weak competition now, weak competition in the future. All that's a pro for this movie. So that's pro. Another pro. Another pro is this Thursday preview number. I expected it to be big, considering, this is Dragon Ball. Again, pre-established fan base, the type that'll rush out to see a movie. But its preview number was better than I anticipated. It opened with 4 million on Thursday, which is quite good. Now, before you think, oh, that's going to lead to a massive, massive opening weekend, you gotta remember, anime movies, front-loaded, extremely front-loaded, even more than video game movies. Or even like, young adult book adaptation movies. They're more front-loaded than those. I'm about to show you. So, hopefully I can find it here. There we go. So, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, going back to that. I'm going to check if it's on here. Yeah, okay. That had a preview number of 2.8. Over 2.8 million. And it opened with over 8 million Friday. And then it fell 37% Saturday. Another 30% Sunday. So it barely doubled its Friday number over the weekend. And then the second weekend, it fell by 75%. So that's really not good. Is this it? Is this the right one? Yes, it is. Okay. And then Demon Slayer. that also had a very front-loaded run. I think, yeah, 3.8 million in previews, which is very close to Superhero. That had 9.5 million Friday, and then it fell 32% Saturday, and then 20% Sunday. So not as bad, but still kind of bad. Still a red flag. And then second weekend, it fell 71%. So, oof. And then going back to Brawly. There it is. Going back to that. I mentioned its biggest day was its first day. Then it lost half its box office the next day. Then it fell off more Friday. Then it went up massively on Saturday. Then it fell off Sunday. So I had a really weird run. And then its second weekend, it fell by 69%. So there's a clear pattern here, as you can see. Anime movies make majority of their money, or nearly all their money, on day one, and then they plummet right afterwards. And the same thing will happen here. So, yeah. So, although it will have a very front-loaded opening weekend, this is still a very strong number, especially considering how dire things are right now at the box office. Pretty sure the theaters are going to take what they can get. So, yeah, I would consider its Thursday preview numbers to be a pro, even if the movie is guaranteed to be front-loaded. I guess another pro is that reviews are quite strong. They're at 90%, and its audience score is at 93%. So how on earth is that? How on earth can that even be labeled a bad thing? So good word of mouth overall from critics and audiences. That's a pro. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think there's nothing really more to say. So, opening weekend. Well, I already showed you. We might as well go back. Okay. To our little comparisons here. Its preview number is closest to Demon Slayer. It's very close to Demon Slayer. That was 3.9. That opened with around 22 million. Let's just say 22 million, because it gets kind of confusing. Is it 22 million? All right, opening weekend. Can Dragon Ball Super Superhero, can it match that, or can it surpass that? That remains to be seen, but I'm going to have a bit of a wide range here, a bit of a wide range. So I'm going to say it's going to open between 15 and 25 million. You know what? Actually, I'm going to go up a little bit. 20 to 25 million opening weekend for Superhero here. I think that's decent enough. I wouldn't be surprised if it did worse because of severe front loading, but 20 to 25 million is what I'm going with. And its total, I'd be shocked if it made it past 50 million. But I'm going to say somewhere in the realm of 40 to 50 million dollars. I think that's achievable enough, considering how front-loaded anime movies usually are. So, yeah, that's what I'm sticking with. So 20 to 25 million opening weekend, 40 to 50 million total, and then that'll be it. So a nice little surprise, a nice little hit, a nice little bit of positive news in the wasteland we call the box office right now. So, yeah. And that's it for the weekend. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Pressed the wrong thing again. There we go. That's it for the weekend. Now, next week, I have 2 more movies to talk about. There's The Invitation and 3,000 Years of Longing. I doubt either of those will do very well. And then that'll be it for August. So, yeah. Anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage for all previous prediction videos I've made this year. You know, if you want to watch my Jujutsu Kaisen 0 prediction video, you certainly can. But if you want to watch any of the others, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I believe I've covered Dragon Ball Super Superhero. I've covered it twice. I forgot which episodes that was. I know it was twice. I'm about to find out. There's episode 125 and 131. Okay. So 125 and 131. That's where I talked about Dragon Ball Superhero. So you want to watch those two episodes or any others, there's now 149 episodes. So you have plenty to choose from. Go right ahead, binge it from beginning to now. I highly encourage it. Go do it. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. August recap will come out after Labor Day, and then after I make that video, I'll do my two-part summer 2022 recap. I go over the winners and losers. So that's 3 videos coming in September, so stay tuned for those. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I've done on this channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out, and goodbye.